Hello. It's really me, the live guy. We're going to turn this off so make sure that the recording gets on the camera as well. But just wanted to say hello. And now we will stop sharing that. And make sure our recording is going. All right, we are all good. Well, cool. I know it is a Friday. I don't know about you there, but it is sunshiny here. And we certainly appreciate the time that you're taking today. What we're going to do, apparently, is get some allergies going for the springtime. And then we are going to talk about how to manage your teenage employees without killing them or yourself. Now, one of the first things people say is, oh, but I have employees who are not teenagers. The great news is those people especially really appreciate when you have a system by which you are clearly letting them know what you want to do, what they need to do to be okay and to be successful at your business. So, just had Susan log in there too. So, you might be wondering, who is Hugh? Maybe you're not wondering that. I know some of you I've known for a long time. But just in case, we're going to go down through some key things here, just so you know where I'm coming from. And where that is has changed a lot over the last couple of years. This is going to be our 7th boot camp class. We've been doing one the first year and then 2 every year, one in the winter, one as we get towards summer here. And where I'm coming from is I'm the Maze Master. So we got started in agritourism back in '97. We have been the North American Farmers Direct Marketing Vendor of the Year. We have now pulling in on 85 corn maze clients in 3 different countries. And this will be our 21st season. And this year we will have over 75 employees, not counting the production crew, at Maple Lawn Farms. And Maple Lawn Farms is our home farm, and that is a 1,400-acre fruit and grain commercial operation. In addition to all of the regular stuff that we do for Pick Your Own, Farm Market, and Bakery. So, as the Maze Master, we run our home park, and that's really my true love and joy. Like I say, that started so long ago. We were one of the first corn mazes around, and now it has grown into 30 or more attractions. And group tours and team building and hay rides, campfires, even camping sites for campground or for scouts to use as a scout-only campground. Then we help other agritourism operators like many of you. We help out our clients in the USA, Canada, and the UK. We have agritourism attractions, we have hayride audio systems, and then we have tons of partner vendors like pedal carts, fiberglass, advertising structures, and of course the boot camp training classes. There is also Farmer Hugh. I never get bored, really. We have our commercial operation, but we have the farm market and bakery and school tours with some retired teachers. That's when I get to be Farmer Hugh for the preschool gang. And most recently, we have even added the winery. Because why not have a hobby? And we run a retail tasting room, wine production, and this is where we work with our over 21-year-old workers. But a lot of what we focus on is that big seasonal group of employees, and typically teenagers, right? Hiring and managing these seasonal employees. And whether that's whether you're a campground, whether you're an agritourism business, we've been in business a long time, right? And in fact, I even grew up on the farm. So I started working when I was 5. So I've been a child on the farm. I've been the worker. I've been a teen. I've been a teen manager of teens older and younger than me. I've been the boss's son. I've had to deal with that and get past that. I've had to manage people older than me for a long time. And when we started MazeQuest, I had to be the owner-operator. I had to be the, run, hire, and pay payroll taxes for the whole MazeQuest crew. And I've seen just about every kind of employee system, management style. I get around to all of our clients at one time or another, and I've seen just about everything. And you might be thinking, right, that honestly things aren't going to get any better. That managing seasonal employees, managing teenagers, managing non-teenage seasonal employees at a campground, at an agritourism place, you may be thinking it's just not going to get better, right? They don't make kids like they used to, right? It's a crapshoot. I can't find anybody who wants to work, right? Well, you can't hire kids from the 1958 anymore, so we got to suck it up, and we got to figure out this new environment, right? Teens are teens. They're never going to get any better or work any harder. But to be honest with you, our feelings about it kind of don't matter because the world has changed and people are different than they were. And parents are different and teens are different. But now I don't want you to think that I am coming to you from a place of perfection, because that is not correct. I mean, we've all been there, right? One of my wonderful stories was that there was one late night and we were busy, people running around everywhere, and I couldn't find Brandon. He wasn't where he was supposed to be, and I couldn't find him. And I called on the radio and I got nothing. About an hour later, he got on the radio and I'd had it. So I let him have it on the radio, which means now the radios sit on our hips, and every employee has one of these radios, and we don't use headsets because I want people to know that there are staff members around. And so not only did every employee hear Brandon get fired, but every guest within earshot heard him get fired. And that's bad for guests. It's bad for Brandon. It's bad for me. It's bad for the crew. And man, I'm telling you, it was bad when his parents called back. It was just bad all the way round. And I know, we've all been there. But even that incident, about 2005, wasn't bad enough for me to overhaul our employee systems, which had started, slowly, and we'd been going to conventions, and we've been trying to learn little bits and pieces here, and we've just been adding to, some things. But we still labored under the assumptions that, being the boss worked. Well, in 2009, we had a darling little 14-year-old girl. 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, right? I mean, just a teeny tiny little girl. Someone's younger sister, even. And she left her interview at Maze Quest in tears. Luckily she made it to the door. But as she started down the big metal stairs that go up to our office, she started sobbing. And I couldn't take it. I mean, how could an interview for a place that I market as the funnest place north of Disney World make a little girl cry when she wanted to work here? And you know how all of that kind of stuff happens, right? We were interviewing the old way. You tell me what you bring. Why should it be you? There's lots of people on this job. You sell me that on your skills or whatever. She's just a kid. We're going to teach you how to do interviews a completely different way. But you might be wondering, is this for you? And it is, if you ever caught an employee slacking, right? If you ever had to work an extra shift because a teenager called out questionably sick, typically when his or her boy or girlfriend is also off. If you dread scheduling, if you ever wondered, how do I motivate these people? If you've ever had someone chronically late, or you have workers with bad attitudes that make guests mad, then this is for you. I mean, after my lovely story, you might be thinking, great story, bro. But what's it got to do with me? Well, if these things are affecting you the way they were affecting us back in 2009, I mean, we were just bursting at the seams, trying to hold together this thing with luck and talent and some magical people. We were just trying desperately, clinging with our fingernails. That was us in 2009. But we've been refining this system for our clients, for ourselves, and we never quite had it all together in one neat place, one tidy little package. But let me tell you the results of what we've done. That was 2009. And we changed the whole interview process overnight. I went home and turned it around overnight. Rethought the whole way. The next day we had interviews. They were 180 degrees changed. By 2011, we'd gotten basically the rest of it fixed, and 94% of our employees got their performance bonus. Then it went up to 100%. And our performance bonus, and we teach you how to do those bonuses and everything too, is a $100 bill, right? And in 2012, I had Michelle double check everybody because I had to give out $3,500 bills because every person on staff got one. In 2013, it was 99%, which means one kid didn't get it. In 2014, it was 96%. 2016, it's 95% with a 73-person crew. I mean, that is crazy. And to earn your performance bonus, that means no disciplinary actions, no lates, no skips. It's the cheapest money you'll ever pay out. And this is the system that did it. But don't listen to me. Annie says, we have all our stations finished for our store, the food shacks, etc. We're working on our October-only activities. We've never been this far ahead. We implemented the MazeQuest staffing system, and staffing is smoother than ever. It really helped. That's Michigan, center of the country. Scott Solly says, we found the course great so far. It's getting us in the right direction for the farm. It's out in Wisconsin. Mike Marini said, I remember Hugh's first visit like as yesterday. Teaming up with Hugh and MazeQuest has impacted everything in a positive way. Ag Entertainment has taken my business to a level I never thought possible. But you might be thinking, I'll just do nothing, and that'll be okay. But there's a big cost to doing nothing new. You could hire the same, fire the same, yell at the same employees, be frustrated with scheduling just the same. But you must want something different or you wouldn't be here. And the cost of doing nothing is really expensive. Check this out. This is the Center for Academic Policy Research. One teenage worker paid $8.50 an hour, and we all know that's going north, right? Costs $850 to replace in lost time, knowledge, efficiency, management time to train his or her replacement. That's a teenage worker who honestly doesn't know how to do much. But think about it. Remember the last time you had a new crop of people come in and you were like, you got to go to the Morton building and grab the shovel out of the back storage room. And they're like, what's a Morton building? Like they don't even know where anything is on the farm. You can see this $850. It could very well cost that much just for a teenage employee, just because they're wasting your time because they don't know where anything is. I mean, that's kind of wild, isn't it? Let alone be able to do a good job. Like they can't even find the snack bar because they've never been in it. Check this out. So 5 employees at $8.75 an hour, right? So that means your running cost is $43.75 an hour. Say you have 21 public days, right? Just the weekends. And they waste 2 hours a day being ineffective, not knowing what they're doing, wasting time. You're already at $1,800. $1,837.50 lost. Based on the poll, y'all have a lot more workers than that. 12 employees at $9.25 an hour. You're at $111 an hour for 21 days. 2 hours lost, you're at $4,600. I mean, it is expensive to get this wrong. And I know some of you have more employees probably even than me. But let's look at 25 employees. Your running cost at $8.50, just $8.50. And I know Canada's already north of this. We always have a couple Canadians in the class. Canada's already up above that, right? $2.12 an hour, 31 days. Say you run the whole month of October, 2 days lost, you're at $13,000. Just in lost time, effort. Even worse, they might be screwing things up because they don't know how to talk to guests. How many of you ever thought to yourselves, You can probably put your hands up. There's probably a little button to put your hands up. How many of you have ever thought, I'm paying these people to screw up my guests, to mistreat my guests, right? It's a terrible feeling. And you might be thinking, I don't really know what they do when I'm not there. I don't really know how they treat those guests. Some interesting things, though, is employees are driven to acquire, bond, comprehend, and defend. And you must have a system in place that addresses all four aspects of motivation to be successful. Because of how we learn, this is Harvard Business Review. It's called Employee Motivation, a Powerful New Model, right? And the whole article, I can give you the link if you like. The whole point here is they want to acquire new skills. They want to be in a place where they feel bonded, not specifically to the owner, oftentimes to themselves. They want to understand. Nobody wants to be an idiot. They want to understand what's going on. And I would venture to say that most importantly, they want to know why they are doing what they're doing and to defend. Now, if you do this wrong, they will defend each other against you. The right way is if they are defending your business against assaults from outside, right? If they're protecting your business, they're protecting your good name. But they will defend whatever they are allowed to, or whatever is perpetuated for them to defend, which may be we employees are going to stick together and we're going to protect each other from the evil boss. So you have to make sure that the system, and that's what we're talking about here, is building a system that's going to let those employees acquire all the skills they need, understand the why they're doing it, and by being able to do that and being, in fact, trained by your previous employees, unless you're brand new, they're going to be able to bond with those previous employees so that they feel like they're a part of something important. In fact, we're going to quite literally tell them that they are important, because no one ever tells us enough that we're important. Even you and me, owners, managers, they don't tell us we're important enough. So that they will want to defend our business. And that's why we're building this whole system, right? Acquire, comprehend, bond, and defend. Now, here's an interesting statistic for you. Amusement park labor cost averages 20 to 40% of gross revenue, top line revenue. So when you're talking Hershey Park, you're talking you're talking your local Fun World, you're talking Disneyland, right? Labor cost is a huge portion of revenue. What's amazing at my fun park, and probably at many of our parks, with a good system, you can average less than 15% of gross revenue if you have a good system in place. Because typically when you don't have a good system, people just throw bodies at it, right? We don't have a great way to check people in, so I just have 29 registers. Nobody really knows how to park cars, so I put 7 people in the lot. All of that just jacks up that labor cost. If everybody knows what their jobs are, if they can communicate with each other, you don't need as many people. It's pretty neat. Now this is cool because Rochelle's managing nearly 300 employees, way bigger than us. Just hosted our first day of interviews, worked so much better than our old set of questions. What a relief, right? Interviewing is so hard. It's such a relief when you switch it around. Rochelle's managing 300 employees. I mean, think about that. 300 employees. I mean, for us in September, quite often it's fun to have a 300 guest day. And she has more employees on the clock, right? That's pretty neat. Lori says, it seems that if we just tweak yours to meet our needs, we spend way less time than reinventing the wheel. And that's what this whole system is about. It's you take our system, you grab it, you just modify the couple of things. We had one kid who said, I'm Captain Copy and Paste, right? He's coming up. Here's Amy Ladd, if you know her from Lucky Ladd Farms. She is a smart marketer, and they've built a wonderful place in Tennessee. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She was loving everybody, but she's saying here, boot camp's one of the best investments we made in the business. Discovering we're not alone in our struggles, and it gave us the tools we need to hire and train in a much more streamlined way. We already implemented, learned what we can do, right? You can do this. Like the minute you take it, you can do it. And she was doing it the same. She was already open, so she was doing it the same week. She'd learn something, put a new system in place, and boom, she'd rock and roll. Rhonda Heel, she has the opening and closing lists. Thanks for sharing the knowledge. Excited to put it to work. Look forward to meeting you this summer at the farm. And this is for anybody. Y'all can come and visit the farm. We got some folks from Abbott's Farm who came through the boot camp program. They're coming next week, and we're going to talk hard cider. Probably have to taste some too. We have a winery that tends to make people want to stop by. Here's Andrew. My homework for the last 2 modules, I'm being Mr. Copy and Paste guy on this. LOL. What Hugh says fits right here. Hashtag copy and paste. That's Andrew. Wonderful. Young kid, 20 something. Just got married down at Granddaddy's Farm in Tennessee. Viscara Vineyards. Melinda says a lot of the basic work after we came back, from the concert and declared we have to get organized. And she didn't see the value of the paperwork. But now with this course, she presented it in a straightforward way. This is every day the kind of attitude I see that's going to be helpful. We're rewriting our job descriptions in the format you presented so they have no excuses. Isn't that cool? I don't know. I had to do that, right? We're taking all of that away, those excuses. Thanks for making the material and all the paperwork make sense. We are going to write a lot of stuff. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you were like, oh, we're just going to listen to this and we'll think better. No. We're going to write this all down. But today, I want to make sure that you go home with some good stuff. So here's what we're going to cover today. How teenage workers are not the enemy, but in fact, one of the best resources for seasonal businesses like yours and mine. Why young workers with no experience are actually the best for agritourism farms and campgrounds. 5 steps to a successful group orientation. And the group orientation is one key little part. We're going to go through a whole bunch of it today, but one key little part that is completely missing from every other system I've seen. And how you can adapt the MaceQuest agritourism employee system to your farm or campground. I know we got some campground people on here as well. Now, I can't give you everything in an hour just because in reality, it takes longer than that, right? This is an 8-module course. There's now module 9 special bonus, and there's module 10 special bonus now as well for owners and high-level managers because everybody kept asking for it. So we just did it. But there are 8 live modules that we're going to do. So I just want you to think about up front, if you just had somebody along who could kind of hold your hand through the process, right? This is going to be super helpful for you. Even if you don't join the course, whatever you learn today, you're going to be able to take back to your business. Just like IKEA, we'll give you the pieces. If you need help and want a system completely done, join us for the whole course. We'll help you assemble it, right? I'm sure we've all struggled with IKEA furniture. But first of all, let's get you some stuff that you can use right now. So teenage workers are not the enemy. I don't know how many times I've heard operators just talk, as though the employees are out to get them. It's us against them. If I turn around, they'll sit down. They'll start talking. They'll start texting. They can't be trusted. Here's a news flash for you. Teenage workers are not the enemy. This guy pictured here, he was a senior who was so pumped he got dressed up like Caesar. His sister dressed up as Caesar's wife for our introduction video. Now, is that someone you can't turn your back on? I mean, it's really quite the opposite. Teens are desperate to fit in, to be included, particularly to be valued and to be trusted. A lot of times, even their parents do not value and especially do not trust their own children. So if you create this place, right, where you are the grown-up, we just have to show them how. Because Simon Sinek says, the best leaders make their people feel safe. Now, I love what all those other operators that I read through all their quotes, I love what they say, but far from being magical, we just help them implement the systems that worked for us. It really takes a lot of time to create all these job descriptions and everything. If you remember back to last season, it was really painful to do those things over and over again, year after year. So let's give these teenage workers a framework, right? Because they're inexpensive and they're flexible. They're easy to schedule. They're living with their mom and their dad. They don't need 40 hours a week, right? It's great. They can just work on the weekends. If you have adult workers, You have to treat them like adults. They might have greater hourly expectations. Teens are happy for a job, couple of months, get a little cash, and then they're on with their school lives, right? And here's the crazy thing: no experience is no problem. There's this extreme case I heard about where a crew of bar workers would specifically apply for and all work together at a bar that had just opened. And they would do that because then they would get to use all of their dirty tricks that they had learned over the years, and they would rob the place blind until the owners got it figured out. And those were, quote unquote, experienced workers, right? Now, mostly that's not the case, but honestly, I'd like the first crack at teaching a young worker what it means to work before anyone else shows them how to goof off, right? Because with no job experience, you can't have any old bad habits, right? Because then bad habits need to be broken, which takes more time than just training them to begin with. Now, I want to give you a preview of this special thing, the group orientation. We're gonna do kind of 5 steps to get everybody to start on the same page. There are lots of reasons why, but the class module preview, we can't do the whole module, obviously, but I think you'll get a feel for the style, the way we teach, the kind of fill-in-the-blank style worksheets you'll be provided during the course. And one of our signature features is this group orientation. This is what happens after the interview, but before anyone has been hired. So why do we do a group orientation? Sounds like a lot of extra work, right? I interview them, just put them on the job, we'll see how they do, and, they'll probably suck, so we'll just fire. Right? No. We want this group orientation. It is extra work, yes, but hiring the wrong employees is a lot of extra work, right? This is like preventive medicine. So the first thing is a group equals competition, right? We want a line out the door of people seeing, oh gosh, other people are interviewing. Oh gosh, there's a lot of people in this group orientation room. Oh geez, maybe this is a really valuable job that people want to fight for, right? It creates value, it creates desire, it creates competition. You're not saying, help wanted, we'll take whoever's got a pulse. Here, breathe on this mirror. Oh, it fogged, you've got a job. Right? No. We're turning this into an audition where people say, man, there's a lot of people who want this job. That makes me want this job. I'm going to go get it. Step 2, invite the parents. I know that you have all had bad experience with parents in the past. We have a step-by-step process that makes it mandatory for the parents to come and help their youth produce great results on the farm. Because we have all talked with this lady. So like Billy has a special surprise family reunion we didn't tell him about, so we're going to need to take him away for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. Okay, so that's probably fine. Bye. Right? Oh, no. If this lady calls us now, we just say, hey, why don't you have your worker call us? Because she's already been to the group orientation. She's had to sign off that she understands all of these things. We have to co-opt her into being a part of the solution instead of being part of the problem. They actually have to sign off on it at the meeting. So there are no questions about what our expectations are for scheduling. Mommy dearest can no longer save the child. And tell them why. I'm such a believer in the power of why. And I think it is only becoming more important with the millennials, which I do not think are a terrifying, scary group of individuals who don't like to work. I don't really think so. We have found a ton of great kids. However, they demand that you, as the leader, tell them why they are doing what they are doing, or they will not plug in to doing it. In fact, here's the statement. I'll read it to you. This is straight out of our Employee Expectations Guide. Maze Quest is an experience. To create an experience people are willing to pay for, we have to be fun. Fun is perceived individually, but by creating and implementing our tested framework of appearance and behavior, we can exceed most guest expectations. When we exceed expectations, we turn our guests into fans. Fans tell others about Maze Quest without paid advertising, enabling us to grow our business. That's why we do all of the stuff that we do at Maze Quest. And I'm a big believer you're going to write your own why statement as we go through the course. And we're going to share precise expectations because why take a chance? You need to spell it all out. We walk them through our employee expectations guide step by step, so it won't be a surprise when we ask them to clean the porta potties or pick up trash. Module 5 and 6 of this program is where you can see everything done there for you. It's all done. You need one of your own. Got to have this employee expectations guide, and all you need to do is swipe and deploy our system. So you're going to read ours, you're going to have lines right underneath it, and you're going to be able to build out your expectations guide. And step 5, this one is counterintuitive. We're going to make it okay for them to leave so they want to stay. I know that sounds a little weird, but you remember back in high school, whenever you asked someone out on a date or indicated that you would like to be asked out on a date, and the more you asked, the more they seemed to say no or ignore you. And then you finally gave up and you went on a date with someone else, and suddenly, lo and behold, person A is all interested in you. Why? Because you suddenly made yourself unavailable. And unavailable is much better than pestering, right? Help wanted. Wah, I'll take anybody, right? Well, you get anybody apply. If you make it easy for them to leave, lots of off-ramps. The losers will, in fact, off-ramp themselves. They'll head out of your process. And the winners will stay because that's the kind of environment winners like. Isn't that cool? So here, take a look at this. If you just get, the point here is, if you sell your farm too hard, they're going to think you're desperate. So tell them they're free to leave. Here you go. If it's not for you, this might not be for you. Everyone is wired for, not everyone is wired for the entertainment business. You've got to smile. You've got to forget about your life and focus on the guests. You've got to want to please the guests and make them smile. And you've got to do it when it's hot, cold, raining, when you're tired, frustrated, sad, when you just broke up with your girlfriend, wrecked your car, or lost your keys. Leave your baggage at the door, even if your day's been lousy or tiring. The guest is meeting you for the first time. You have a chance to treat them to a wonderful experience they will remember. Being cheerful is part of your job description. If you can't separate your life from your work responsibilities, we encourage you to find a different job. Maze Quest might just be a safe haven for you from the rest of your life. Knowing that you get the chance to make people happy all day long can be a relief from your daily stress. Hey, everybody's got problems, but there's never a bad day at Maze Quest. And if you aren't wired to be smiling on a cloudy day, this isn't for you, and you need to feel comfortable enough with yourself to tell us that. Now, if this sounds fun, read on. So that's that total release of the whole salesmanship. You don't have to sell anybody into this job. In fact, you have to say, if it isn't for you, it's cool. We won't be mad. Head out the door. And what that means is the rest of them the good ones are gonna stay. They're gonna go, oh my gosh, this place is awesome. They're on it. So let's take a look here. That is the start of the kind of the 5 steps that are built into the group orientation. And that's module 4 of the Agritourism Manager Bootcamp. And we go into detail on every single part of it. Even if you don't join us for the class, just remember, right? Group equals competition. Invite the parents. Tell them why. Make sure your expectations are precise, clear. You're going to bring lots of clarity to it. Make it okay to leave so that they'll want to stay. Now, let's talk about how you can create this staff system and how you can do it on your farm or campground. It's boot camp. 8 modules now. Like I say, there's 9 and 10 bonus modules in there. Here's what's going to happen. You'll receive an invitation to the online classes. You'll receive the login information for our exclusive website to the class. You'll receive an invitation to the VIP Facebook group that's exclusively for members of this class. So no one else can get in it. No one else can see the messages. You get everything we use in a format that's basically fill in the blank. I'm not just going to tell you ideas about your group orientation. I give you not only the group orientation, but the fill in the blank. So you're gonna write everything out so it fits for you, for your employee expectations guide. I give you the PowerPoint slides so that you can do it. I give it to you in Microsoft Word format, so you just copy and paste, right? Now, why are we doing this, right? The cool thing we're doing is the system becomes your filter for the rest of the season. We are going to pre-decide everything before you get any employees on site. You're going to create the system in the class, and the decisions for the rest of the season all made by you, but the system makes the rest of them for you. So check this out. In the class, you're going to get the class recordings to review, the pre-interview sheet, the interviewer guide, the job descriptions for all of our Fun Park jobs, some that aren't even on our Fun Park because we've had people submit them in and ask for them, non-negotiable business values, the employee expectations guide, the fill-in-the-blank version so you can just go right underneath our text or copy and paste, group orientation sheet, the meeting outline, the PowerPoint, the train the trainer day outline, the training day outline, the retraining day outline for all those employees who don't know about the new system yet. You got to retrain them so that they're ready to help you on regular training day. And the exception customer service worksheet. And I don't mean exceptional, I mean exception. You'll find out all about that. Plus, you're going to get the clock-in policy, the discipline policy, the cell phone policy, the commitment sheet, parental involvement sheet, the employee incentives, referral bonuses, postseason parties, employee recognition plan, and it's all done for you. Just swipe it, deploy it. We've even put in some things like register closeout sheets, the legal firing, if you're going to run somebody through the process to let them go, if you get to strike 1, 2, and 3, right, the discipline policy. If you get to the end of that, what do you do to make sure that you're clear, on the way out? All of those things that we've gathered up. There's a huge, when you get to module 7, there's just a huge bank of extra materials that you get in there. And now, if you're one of the next 17-ish to register, you're going to get an extra scheduled call to work specifically on your program. So that means when we get to the end of Module 8, you've got the whole thing built out. You've done all your homework, you've got all your parts and pieces, all in a nice binder, all in a nice Word document. You're going to send it to me, and then we'll schedule a time, and you get an hour with me. We go down through everything, and we answer all of your questions to make sure that you have no doubts about the system before you go, bam, hit the button, flip the switch, turn it on, and deploy your system. But I know you still might be thinking, I don't have that many teens. Does it work with adults? You bet. I'm just getting started. I don't have many employees. Remember, at 5 employees, the math works out? I don't have the money for this. We talked about that too, in the money and the wasted time. It's a pretty good deal in the grand scheme of things when you think about how much payroll you run through. I'm too busy. Look, I just went through all of the things I'm responsible for, and yet I had time to make up the course, right? So, yeah, you're too busy, but you're also too busy in season to deal with all these headaches. And there's never going to be a time when you're not busy, so it doesn't matter. You might as well get something useful done when you're busy being busy. This isn't the right time. Of course, it's never going to be the right time, right? You're going to say, well, let me go one more month, and then it'll be perfect, and I'll do it. No. You're going to have to say, I don't want to hurt like I hurt last season with all those pains in the neck and scheduling problems and all that kind of stuff. You have to say, I don't want to do that, and so just make this the right time, right? I don't trust myself to do the work. Now there, I can help you out, because I actually took a course to learn how to get all of this information into a course, and I had to pay thousands of dollars for that course. And I did not trust myself to do the work until this Scottish farmer put $5,000 investment into figuring out how to turn this into the boot camp, right? Once I spent the money, I got real awful focused, because I'm Scottish and I focus on the money, right? We're thrifty, we Scots are. Just think about the lost wages, right? I mean, 1,800, 4,600, plug in your own numbers. Just calculate your own value. We were wasting thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars, year after year after year. And the frustration was just insane. But put in your own numbers. You don't have to use mine. Use yours. No big deal. but I have to say you can easily save it, right? The boot camp, it retails for $9.97. I know we're on Friday, and Sunday's kind of the last day for the special, but look, the early bird seats are just $697. So you can save $300 off retail. If you wait till the middle of next week and you go, we might have missed the first one, but I want in, then you're going to be $997 again. And why not save the $300? I mean, this isn't even $700, so you can really fast get your money back in saved payroll and harassment. But just like always, there's more. There's one more bonus because I'm really excited about this one. If you reserve your seat today, go ahead, get your seat today. And I know a couple of you on the call already have. You're going to get Bulletproof Your Payment Network, which is a $397 value. It is a 5-module program to lock down your POS and your Visa system to make sure you get paid in season in mission-critical October Saturdays. Because this is also the hilarious story of how here at Maple Lawn Farms, we broke the internet 5 different ways in one season, every sequential weekend. I mean, in total hilarity, even down to the final weekend. I looked at my tech guy, he looked at me, and I said, dude, I think we are finally locked down. And we actually high-fived each other, and 10 minutes later, we couldn't take a Visa card on the whole place. And that happened for 4 hours on an October Sunday. Oh, but then once they came back on, we started double and triple charging people. Can you imagine the calls we got with all those chargebacks? I mean, it was hilarity now that I look back at it. So anyway, this is how we broke the internet, and this is how to not break your payment network. This is how to bulletproof your payment network so that it does not happen to you. We now have 5 modules, 5 different things we did because of the 5 ways we broke the internet. We tell you all how to do it. And you get it free. You get it totally free with your bootcamp subscription. Here's the best part. This is our 7th one. We're now at 120, 130 some odd farms who have been through this program. You are not a guinea pig anymore. And I just flat out guarantee you get a system you can use. If you buy it and it's not worth it, and you go through the modules, you do your homework, and you end up with your employee expectations guide, and you look at that and you say, Hugh, I can't use this. This is not going to work for our farms. Just let me know, and I'll say, here's your money back. That's it. It is a money back guarantee that this course, when you get to the end of it, you're going to have something you're going to be so excited about. You're going to be all on the same page, and you did all your homework. You're going to have it all together, and you're going to feel like $1 million, and you're going to realize that the value's way above and beyond. And so what I want you to do, if this makes sense for you, and there's no pressure from me, I'm fine either way. But if you're hurting from employee problems, if you're looking at down the barrel of, man, I need another 10 or 15 people this year, and I don't know how I'm going to keep track of them. If you're thinking, I was barely hanging onto that cliff this past year, and I don't know what I'm going to do this year, or I've been struggling for so long with scheduling. I've been struggling so long with those teenagers and their dang phones, right? If that's how you're feeling, or you're just feeling like I got to get bigger, and if I don't get bigger, the way it was phrased to me, I was just at a convention. The way it was phrased to me is the tools that got you from the start to where you are today are not the tools that are going to get you from where you are today to your next big goal. So we could just hold it together when it was just a couple of people, and we'd have maybe a couple hundred people in a day at the farm. Hey, cool, man. We can just all hold it together. We all kind of know what's going on. That's great. But you start having 500 people, 1,000 people, 2,000, 3,000 people. And now instead of just, your corn maze, now you're running the corn maze and the market and a bakery and a wine tasting room and school tours and a campground and a pool. Some people run a pool, some people, all those other kind of things. And you've got so many things happening at once. The great news is you probably thought you needed magical people. Right? You needed people who were magic to hold this together, but you don't. You just need a system where you pre-decide everything up front. And then you need quality people to execute on that system. And that's what we're doing. So agritourismmanagerbootcamp.com. You've got the links in probably 4 or 5 emails from me. The discount, the $300 discount, is going to apply as soon as you put it into your cart. It's going to pop off right there, and you'll be able to get it for the $697. And I just want to open it up, see if there are any questions that anybody has about the program as we go. I know I answered a couple this morning, so I'll share those with you. Our buddy Ralph out in Pigeon Roost Farm. He had a couple questions this morning, and his questions were: is this a farm subscription or is it a per person subscription? And the way that we found this works the best, it's actually a farm subscription. So if you have you and your spouse, you and a manager, you and 3 managers who are all going to do this together, you just buy one. You just buy one Agritourism Manager Bootcamp, and they take care of all of that for you. When you log in the first time, we're going to send you an email, and we'll ask you for the managers or extra people who need to be put onto your account. And then we'll get them put on, and we'll add them to the Facebook group too, so that your managers can be a part of the Facebook group, spouse can be a part of the Facebook group, however your structure is set up. And so you only buy one for your business, right? So Smithfield Farms just buys one, and they can have the 2 owners and 3 managers. You can all be a part of it. Abbott Farms is coming down to visit us next week. They had, 5 people who were a part of the process, and they can all log in and watch the videos, and you can all be live if you want. Some people, I know Cool Spring Corn Maze, they had everybody get around the kitchen table, and they all watched it live together. They just made a commitment to do that, and they all got on the same page so that when they were doing the homework all at the same time, everybody knew what they were talking about. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see that, get all those family issues out of the way. He said, she said, all that kind of stuff. No. You all pre-decide what the policy is, and then you write it down, and you're good to go. All right? So cool. Well, if there aren't any questions, this video is going to be available, so you can watch it, you can share it with other people on your team if you need, if they would like to see it as well. I know Ralph couldn't be with us live here today, and he was asking to see it tonight. So we're going to get that loaded up for you. And if you have any other questions, just feel free, just reply to one of those emails. And if I can't answer, I'll have Michelle answer for you. She the way she does stacked scheduling alone, when we show you one of our graphical schedules, she has just saved us hundreds of dollars a weekend with her clever little stacked scheduling. That alone will pay for the course. I mean, she's been at this just as long as me. She's here. Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
She's in here with me. So you get Michelle too, and then she and I take a look at our scheduling software as well. We'll let you in on our little tips and tricks. We actually have tried a couple, and we ended up back where we started just because of the way we like the reports there. So we'll walk you through that too. That's one of the bonus modules. All right. Well, thanks so much, gang. If hearing no other questions, we will make this video available. If you have not, and I know some of you have, just looking at the names down through there, go ahead and sign up. Go ahead and sign up. You have nothing to lose. You got 8 weeks. You're going to build your system, and I think you'll be in for a much better season with a lot less pain around your employee management. All right. Thanks so much, gang. We'll talk with you soon.